Oh my God, hi. Isn't that the most irritating way to start? Hi, oh my God, like literally, oh, this is so great. If you're new, welcome. Welcome to 20 minutes of your life that you'll never get back. I would suggest just skipping to the next podcast. Go listen to Hamish and Andy. They're funny and entertaining. This, unfortunately, is self-indulgent nonsense. But if you want to push through and stick around, great. Thanks for you. Thanks for you. Thanks to you. These are just some of the riveting things you can expect over the course of the next 20 minutes. It's a podcast. It's called Complete Drivel. My name's Christian Hull. I'm a self-indulgent, egotistical maniac that struggles to talk. So why not do a podcast? That sounds like the logical thing. I have a Facebook page. It's called Complete Drivel. It's a closed group. Go and friend it. I ask you 2 questions to gain admission. And those 2 questions, you answer, and then I read the answers. Sometimes I read them out on here. They make me feel normal. Where is the weirdest place you've had sex? I read them and I go, thank God, I'm not the only person that's done it there. I feel normal. And then where have you shat yourself? Turns out I'm not the only one that just shits themselves in weird locations. So it makes me feel good about myself. You make me feel great about myself. Now, I recently just posted that said, ask me a question. I will answer all of them honestly. Or I might just skip some that I really don't want to answer. No, I won't. Let's just start. Just adjust my microphone. It's my $50 microphone from wish.com. That's not a plug. I paid $50 for it. I wanted it for free. If you have any great mic equipment and you want to plug, I mean, this is the weird thing, right? I can totes afford to buy my own stuff, but I'm becoming a little bit on the, I want stuff for free. Like I love getting stuff for free. And the Inappropriate Gift Co sends me so much free stuff. So please go and like them on Facebook. Search for the Inappropriate Gift Co. They're an Australian website that also ships to the UK and I think America too. Laurie, shout out to her. She was on Shark Tank, which everyone knows what that is. And she was like, she won. They invested in her business. I'm not having a great day at talking. I was thinking about bringing out some merch, some like Trish merch with her. Inappropriate. Like, can you imagine a Trish dildo? I don't think she sells dildos. I would say that's too inappropriate for her, but it's not. She literally has mugs and stationery with a C word on them. Just like, you're a bunch of... It's so great. I've got a lot of them. I use them at work. What other inappropriate Trish merchandise? Because I think I've got a meeting with her and we're going to discuss options. Dildos, Trish dildos. Is it weird that women would stick images of me inside of them? Nah, I love that idea. And maybe guys stick images of my face up their butt. Wow. It took us 3 minutes and 30 seconds to descend into my face being inside of an anus. That's great. This is a great podcast. Thanks for sticking with it. One last, what's it like phone cases I can do? I wonder if I can get phone cases with, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I can have this conversation with myself, not on the podcast. I have a lot of conversations, by myself, just completely. I sometimes sit on my couch here, no music, no nothing, and I'll just sit there and discuss things with myself, like really in-depth things like Donald Trump and what does the wall mean and immigration. I will have that conversation with myself. I prepare myself, like it's like a studying for an exam. I prepare myself for having that actual conversation with a real human being, because I'm really dumb. I'm not real bright. My life skills are poor because my mother did everything for me and still does a lot of things for me. When she comes to visit, she'll clean the oven, she'll wash, she'll change my bed sheets. She will, I am so useless because my mother, who I love dearly, does everything for me because she made me that way. So it's her fault. Mum, it's your own fault. So useless, I don't even know where that tangent was going. Oh, yeah, talking to myself. Oh, wow. It's just coming across as a real winner. So I'll talk to myself about like immigration, and I'll pretend to be like Oprah Winfrey interviewing Christian Hull about immigration. I am not even kidding you. Or I pretend to be on like Q&A, which is like a real political show here in Australia. It's where they have a host, Tony Jones, who's really smart. He's a journalist and he interviews politicians and public figures on topics of the last few days. It's very political. And I pretend that Tony Jones is asking me questions like, Christian, please, this is literally how the conversations go in my head. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Q&A. I'm Tony Jones. Joining us on the panel tonight, former Prime Minister John Howard is here, and also current Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull. Thank you for joining us both. It's absolutely a pleasure to have you. And on the right side of the desk, we have influencer Christian Hull. We think a lot of guests cancelled on that day, so please welcome Christian, and also esteemed author of Gorillas in the Mist, Jane Goodall. Did she write Gorillas in the Mist? Or she's just like a RSPCA champion? Like I'm up there with like the elitist of the smartest people in the world. John Howard. In Australia that were available on a Wednesday night. And it'll be like, Mr. Howard, how do you feel about the current financial state of Australia? And then he'll blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, Mr. Hull, how do you think? And then I go, and then I just say what I think. Well, Tony, former Prime Minister Howard does raise some very good issues. The Turnbull government isn't, being really hard-hitting. The welfare, Michaela Cash, is a total bitch, and I fucking hate her. Sorry, I really do hate her. Side note, she is awful. I think mothers should just get jobs rather than be on welfare. Well, Michaela, if it was that easy to get a job and raise a child at the same time and have a single income or be a single person, I think a lot of us, do you like how I put myself in the single mother's boat? This is how angry I am at her. She's just, hi, I'm so wealthy and I know how to help the poor people by not giving them welfare and handouts. Also, I can tell you all the women are sleeping with all the other politicians. Oh, my God. I'm not political, but, like, I hate Michaela Cash. She comes across as really awful and unrelatable. I love Malcolm Turnbull. I mean, oh, my God, I'm getting political on here. Anyway, Tony, back to my question. Look, the financial situation of Australia isn't too bad at the moment, but I really think we need to focus on the issues like why have we only just banned plastic bags in supermarkets? I think that's the real issue here. I also think we need to step up the NBN. It takes me a while to load my YouTube videos because I like to watch my own content because I'm very egotistical and I find myself so funny that I watch my own videos constantly. But the NBN has really let me down. Okay, back to you, Tony. Yeah, we're sitting at the same desk. You're not coming. Anyway, that's what I do. That's a lot of my time. I feel like over the years, because I love living alone. But flash forward 20 years, I'll have developed split personalities. I wonder if you can develop split personalities. My worry is, because I've got a full-time job at the moment and it's very social, and I think that's one thing that's keeping me sane, is that I have human interaction. But when I leave that job, and it's coming, and I do the podcast full-time, and I do stupid YouTube videos full-time, when I can make a living off of it, I'm literally going to be here in my home alone all the time. And I honestly think that Trish my brain will just like split into two, and Trish will be like a real part, like a real person, and then I'll flip in between Trish and Christian. I've never really thought of that until just then. Like, what are the ramifications for isolating yourself away from humans? And I wonder if I'll get really bored and force myself to hang out with people. I just don't like meeting people either, unless it's for sex. Anyway, this has been 10 minutes of me waffling on before I get to the crux of the actual podcast, which is answering questions. Ask me a question, I will answer all of them honestly, is what I've written on the Complete Dribble Facebook page. Please follow it now. Oh my God, how many followers do you have on it, Christian? Oh my God, don't even ask. I don't want to talk it up or anything, but it's got like 10,000 people on it. Stop. Like, don't tell anyone. Like, don't keep that to yourself. Like, I don't want people knowing that I'm really popular. Oh, what a massive... See you next Tuesday. Okay. Sarah, how many partners have you had in one night? Great first question, Sarah. I feel like that's a two answered question. At the same time, 4. Back in my 20s, early 20s, not very early 20s. Lost my virginity at 23. My mid 20s. I think that was when I lived in Newcastle. Yes, it was. It was when I lived in Newcastle. And then in the one day, night is very specific. Night, 2. Day, I've once had 3 people. Morning, early evening. Because I was, again, 20s. Men in their 20s are just horny. Like, you'll look at something and if it looks remotely phallic, if you're gay, well, no. I think I'm just a real mental case. If you listen to this podcast, if you were to play this say I committed a serial murder, all people would have to do to prove that I was truly insane is to listen to the previous 12 minutes of this podcast. And that would convince a jury that I am not of sound mind. I would never kill anyone. Sometimes I struggle to kill an ant. I feel bad and I get the guilt. Like I'll squash it because it's annoying. I'm like, oh, get away. Oh, that was a life. See, that was like a half second of guilt though. I am human. I am Gandhi of ants. Well, not if I'm killing them. Okay, great. Hamish. If I hover over his name, it's Facebook, his photo comes up. Hamish. So hot. Let's have a look at... Oh, well, Hamish has asked a very... Would you rather give a hobo a rim job, which is put my tongue on his anus? Wow, Christian, you could have just slowly insinuated what that meant. No, it's boring. Or eat your way out of a room of spiders. Well, like, think about it. What would you do? You're not going to eat a room full of spiders. So just like a rim job, it doesn't specify how long. The rim, that's so disgusting. Because a hobo hasn't oh my God, that's so gross. Or the homeless person could be like homeless like as of 10 minutes ago. I'm going to pretend like the homeless... You know what, Hamish? I'm just going to pretend you're the homeless person. Oh, that got weird. Hamish, he's quite attractive. I'm just going to pretend Hamish is the homeless person and he was just homeless, like, just then. It's nothing like being sexually aggressive to your podcast listeners. Hit me up, Hamish. Victoria, have you started changing your sheets more often? Well, as I said earlier, my mum does that for me when she's here. And I live in Melbourne and she lives in Sydney. So when was she last here? No, I changed them about a month ago. But before that, I did have them on for about 6 months. It's just sheets. People are like, oh, don't you love the feeling of new sheets? No, because they're a bit stiff and a bit, not nice. I like the feeling of old sheets that are soft and they've, your fat body has pressed down on them so hard that they're so thin and really soft. And, I literally have to wash my sheets and make my bed with the, new sheets in the cupboard immediately. Because if I take them off... So I once... I want to say went for about 3.5 weeks with no sheets, no pillowcases. I was just sleeping directly on the mattress. And I didn't even have a quilt cover on. But like, what even is the problem with that? Anyway, I don't see an issue. Lavinia, how many things in your life would you give up for a lifetime supply of Cara milk? Example, meat, money, sex, career. Look, I would give nothing up. I'm done with Cara milk. That's such a lie. I would give up women. Give up women for Cara milk. Just give them up completely. I mean, I am yet to take up a woman, but I will just make that sacrifice and just give them up right now. Who was your biggest celebrity crush as a teenager? Oh, good question, Carly. Do you remember Home Improvement? Oh my God, I just bashed my head into the mic and it scared the shit out of me. Do you remember Home Improvement with Tim Allen? Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Looking back, I feel weird now because, I mean, I was a teenager at the time and so was he. Jesse McCartney. Nick Carter. Who else? Alex Dimitriadis. I remember he did a movie where he got nude and I remember just like, it was on SBS. I'm going to Google that right now. I'm sure it was him. Alex. He played a gay character. Dimitriadis nude. Alex, yeah, mate, I did not nail the spelling of your last name. There it is. His dick's out. It's quite a good size. He is so hot. Oh, he's just like so hot. Oh wow, there's someone giving a blowjob. No, not to like, it's just like porn has come up. He's so attractive. I just like love that look of Italian men. I reckon I could look like that if I just lost 600 kilos and went to the gym a lot more than I'm currently doing. Well, I think I could look like that. I want to look like that. And then be like, yeah, you want a bit of this? $100. I would charge people. If I was Alex Dimitriadis, I would charge people for sex. Because, you know, I would pay for that. Kobe, how are you dealing with no Cara milk? How are you dealing with the no Cara milk situation? Oh, I really give off that vibe, don't I? Fine. I have... Oh, my God. I'm just picking my nose. Hopefully that was off camera. I'm okay. I've got 9 blocks of Cara milk spare and people send me stuff, so I'm okay. It's like... People think it's like some heroin addiction I have. Cassandra, if you were given the choice to be on a reality TV show, what would it be? Do you know why I auditioned for Big Brother? I got through the first round. Didn't make it through the second round. I'm glad. Oh my God. My nose is so itchy. I'm wearing my hoodie to try and be like real gangster. I look like a boxer. I don't at all. But I feel like I do. I would like to be on Love Island. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm just picking my nose. It's just really itchy. I would like to be on Love Island. Have you seen the men? They've literally just gone to a gym and picked out the hottest men. I've not watched one episode of it because I don't like reality TV. I used to. I just don't like any reality TV. But Love Island, just so I could sit there and watch the dudes try and impress the ladies. And then be like, they go for a swim and then they go to the showers to like shower off. And I'm just like, I'm just going to shower off too. And just like watch them nude shower. Because that's the creep. I am such a creep. Okay, Joshua, what is the dirtiest thing you've ever done to another person? Piss on them. I did that once and then I tried to do it again, but I'm a nervous peer and it's really hard to pee when you have an erection. It's very intimate. This is very intimate. But yeah, I did it once. And I did it with a group of people. So I felt less intimidating for some weird reason. But I could never do it again. Like I couldn't. I tried again, but I was too nervous. Okay, great. Chris, what is something you are so ashamed of that you have never told? Oh, that is such a good question. What is something you are so ashamed of that you've never told anybody? God. Well, I just told you I pissed on something. Like, I'm not really ashamed of much. Ashamed of... I don't know. I'm sure there is. I'm sure I've done something awful. Like, the most recent thing that I'm ashamed of that you've never told... That's very... Like, this is so dumb. I pay for someone to write captions on my YouTube videos so that people can watch them who are deaf. And I recently, for some reason, had a brain snap, and the person that was like, I paid for them and they were in there writing them. They do it in America. And I didn't realise, and then I saw that there were captions on this video, and I was like, no, I need to delete the captions because I'm paying someone to do it. And so I deleted all their work, not realising they were currently writing the captions. And I just deleted all their work. And I felt really bad. But then they just rewrote it. That's not really a good story. Ashamed of. Cars. I'm just trying to think if I've ever hit something with my car and not said anything. No. Tell us some more stories from your time in customer service, says Jeremy. Oh shit, I don't remember what I've said. Let me just rattle off a few. So I spent 5 years working at Macquarie Center in North Ryde. It was a good 5 years. I worked my way up to store manager. I think Deborah, who was the owner of the store, still is, I think just pitied me and made me the store manager. Like, I actually had no responsibility whatsoever other than I got to wear the white t-shirt instead of the black. And anytime someone said, can I please speak to the manager, I just pointed to Deborah. Nope, not me. It was. So I did that for 5 years. Had a couple of things happen. Late Thursday night, because it was a homeware store, Howard Storage World in Macquarie Center. Go in there, say hi, buy a few things. It does homewares, and Thursday night was always very quiet. I was sort of like toward the end, like, because late night shopping closed at 9, so about 8:30 no one was out shopping. It was too late. And I remember we used to pretend to do the Olympic torch relay. That was Laura and myself, and Deborah would just be there being like, who have I hired? And we'd have, like, because we used to sell like lighters, like gas stove lighters, like they were long and pointy, they look like a little like laser gun, pew pew. And so we used to like slowly jog around the aisles of the store because there was a particular song that would play over the PA system, and it was sort of very Olympic, very like Olympic torch. And then we used to pick up a lighter when the song would come on and just like slowly jog around. And Laura would stand somewhere in the store and just like be holding up this lighter. And I would just run up to her and we'd like bow to each other and lean in. It was so dumb. And then she would like lightly pull the trigger so the gas would be coming out. And then I would just like light her lighter and like stop mine. We'd bow again and then she'd just go for a run. And we used to do like 20 minutes at a time. And just go back and repeat the song again. That was one of the funner times. Again, no customers involved in that one because customers suck. I think, again, it was a Thursday night and it was just Laura and myself. We were sort of standing toward the front of the store where there was all these like beautiful glass shelving and trolleys that we used to sell like for the bathroom, and just like freestanding little shelves that you just put somewhere and you put bathroom shit on. And they had clear glass stuff. And they came up to about the height of your belly button. So I was standing there and I felt a sneeze coming on, and I knew Laura was standing next to me, and so I was looking down, concentrating on making this sneeze happen because I wanted to sneeze on the glass and be like, oh my God, that's what my sneeze looks like. And so I was like concentrating, and I thought Laura was standing next to me. And I'm looking down, like concentrating. And then as I go to sneeze, I see a pair of feet next to me, and I assume that they were Laura's. And so I sneeze on it. And it's like spit goes everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, Laura, look. And I look up and it's not Laura. It's a customer who's genuinely looking at buying these glass shelves. And I was like, oh, sorry about that. And he's like, that's disgusting. I was going to buy that. I was like, no, you weren't. And he walked out in a huff. And I was like, get a life. Who shops at 8:45 at night, you idiot? And then I quickly wiped it up. And then we laughed about it. I don't know if Deborah was entirely happy at that. But anyway. Okay, Kelly. If you ever come to Perth, can you please come to my house for dinner? I feel awkward committing to that. Maybe. Okay. Ash, what's the funniest rumour you've heard about yourself? Oh, I haven't heard any rumours. That my penis is small. Oh my God, funny, because it is. No, it's not. No, it is. Sometimes I can't even find it. Oliver, thoughts on a mother breastfeeding her kids till 7 years old? Also, can you make more Trish merch? Oh, I talked about that earlier. Yes, I can, Oliver. It's in the works. Please follow me on Insta, oliver.buck. Oh, let's just look him up. It's nothing like a good stalk. No, I think Oliver is definitely very young. And I feel weird. OLI, Oliver.BARKER. Yes, Oliver is 15. Oliver, please stop listening to please just pretend that everything I've said is a lie and stop listening. I feel like this is very inappropriate for you, but thanks for being a follower. Thoughts on a mother breastfeeding her kids till 7? I don't care. She can do what she wants. Really? Does it matter? I don't think it does. Is it weird? It's a bit weird. But she can do whatever she wants. But it is a bit weird. But who am I to judge? Even though I just did. I don't know. Who cares? She's probably saving money. It's a clever money-saving technique. Just feed your kid your boob until they don't... 7? No? Okay, anyway. Stephanie, what was the last car accident you had? I was rear-ended on Victoria Road by an Audi. And then the insurance company didn't want anything to do with me because the guy's insurance company was like, we only insure cars over $500,000. And I was like, well, my car's worth $4,000. Like, fine, okay, here's $4,000. Please dispose of your car. Because it was a write-off, sort of. I couldn't open the boot and it all looked like shit. But then I just duct taped the boot down and kept driving it. And I got $4,000 for it. Oh, when? Okay. Harley, opinions on RuPaul's Drag Race. And how does a fan meet you? Let's see, Harley. Okay, RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't watch it. I know, bad gay, how dare you. Again, reality TV. I'm not a big fan. Also, I mean, I think RuPaul's Drag Race would be great, but I don't like the bitchiness that I assume is there. I don't know, am I correct in that assumption? And I just don't like, I get too emotionally invested in competitions and then it makes me upset. And then when people don't get along, and I know most of it's fake, but I get too emotional and I don't want to watch it. How does a fan meet you? I'm going to VidCon in August. I mean, tickets are so expensive to that. I don't know. Harley, in the street, if you see me, just gonna, oh no, don't click, damn it. Oh, we have a mutual friend. Recent. Oh! No, sorry. I'm just going into his profile. It gives me like his recent activity. Oh, that's odd. Okay. I'll write Harley's name to stalk later. Claire, your honest opinion of the Burt speech at the Logies. My honest opinion. If you're not familiar, Burt Newton, TV royalty back in the day. Like, Burt was Australian TV when I was growing up. Very funny. Was Burt camp? I wouldn't say he's camp. He's married with kids. He's not, well, who knows? But he's not gay, but he was this humour. He was like very open, and then even like back in the day, like when my parents were young, he was like this huge television star with Graham Kennedy. Now, Graham Kennedy, it was very much alluded to that he was a closeted homosexual. Anyway, Graham passed away, and Burt went and did this speech at the Logies, which is like the Australian version of the Emmys. And Burt's got to be like 604. And he came out and he was doing some jokes. Some of them were funny. And then he said something like, Graham was a great mentor. He always knew when he was mentoring someone because he'd take them into his dressing room and close the door. And it was a bit orcs. It's a bit awkward. Because it did imply that Graham was doing a bit of the fiddles. And in a current climate, probably not the smartest of things he could make, but he's old. I feel like old people can get away with that. Look at Joan Rivers. I love Joan Rivers. She got away with everything. Oh, no, I just... Oh, did you hear that? I got a message. Oh, sorry, it's my cousin. Oh, do you want to go to Coffs Harbour? Yes, I do. Just going to mute that conversation. I'll get back to that. On my honest opinion of the Burt speech, look, he's old, and he probably didn't know what he was saying. Tara, what's the worst date you've been on? Oh my God, why has that got 8 replies? A sticky date. That's funny. Most of my dates do end up sticky. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I don't know. I don't date, though. I don't know how to answer that one. Tell me your favourite name for boys. Oh, that sounds really creepy. Can you tell me your favourite name for boys? Jade. My favourite boy's name. That's a much more less creepy way to say that. A friend of mine's got a kid named Zephyr. What a name. And her daughter's name's Sloane. Oh, cool. Great names. I like those 2 names. I like a lot of names. If Trish was real, would any of your brothers date her? Oh my God, that's terribly creepy. Christy. Someone's commented, Trish is real. No, none of my brothers would date her at all. She's too hairy. Michaela, who is a famous person that you have met while at work who was a diva, an asshole, or mean? Oh, I don't like telling these stories. Ooh, I've got some great. Oh my God, do I have some great stories for another time if I feel like sharing. But there are some people. So I work for a radio station. We get some pretty big names come through, and we've had some people who were just real shunts of humans, like assholes. Like really. Are you're that far up your own ass? Some, divine. Paris Hilton, divine. She was so great. Like, you think that she'd be so far up her own ass, but she really wasn't. She's exactly how she is, like, off her show. Hi, how are you? Like, she talks like that. Like, she is Paris Hilton. I lost my mind. And I got a photo with her, and I just, like, was losing my shit. Kim Kardashian, we didn't really get to talk. She was nice. Lily Allen was lovely. Slash. Oh my God, Slash. He was great. Katy Perry was great. Ed Sheeran was great. I'm only telling you the great. I just don't like shitting on famous people because we all have bad days, and their bad day just happens to be when they need to do an interview on a radio show. Oh, except for one of them who I just think is a total piece of work. I've heard lots of stories. Would you ever write a book of opinions similar to Jones Rivers' book about the things she hates? That's funny. Maybe. That's not a bad idea. That's from Harley. Oh, it's Harley again. Kirsten, could you ever see yourself giving an Australian Ninja Warrior course a crack for one of your videos? No, never. Because I would get... I'd do the first jump onto a thing and I'd fall over and be out. That'd be boring. Sheridan, when are you going to tour around Australia so we can all meet you and Trish? Maybe October if I can get my shit together. Camo? Camo. I'm assuming that stands for Cameron. Or it could just be a great camo Irish name? Anyway. Does Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. blink or wink? That's a good one. I think you have to have two eyes to wink. So I think he just blinks. Oh, wow, Christian, you're so smart and philosophical. What would you talk to Donald J. Trump about? I would ask him, now that you're Prime Minister, now that you're President, was 9/11 a hoax? Was it, are the conspiracy, was it an inside job? That's what I'd ask him. Melissa, is there anyone you work with that you secretly hate, but you're nice as pie to their face? I will leave that question. Take that answer as you will. Karina, have you ever smoked weed? Yes. And I didn't like it. First time I smoked it was in a thing. I think the kids call it a blunt. Is it a blunt? Oh, I'm so old. I'm like a nana. Did I have a blunt? I don't know. Blunt is like what a pencil goes. It was like in a rolled up thing, a Rolo. Now I'm making up things. God, guys, I'm so gangster and drugs. I'm cool. No. If you do drugs, it's not cool. Anyway. Yes. And it didn't work. I didn't feel any effects. And then, this is both when I was in America, and then I took a hit of a bong. Oh my God. That was I was very much high and I didn't really enjoy myself because I just thought I was a seal. I knew I was a human, but I was like, I'm a seal, everyone. And I just laid on the floor and wouldn't use my legs and was clapping and flapping about. Very embarrassing. Oh, Joe. I've got an answer to this. Joe thinks she can trick me with her rhetorical question. Or he. Joe says, just how long is a piece of string? Right? I have an answer, Joe. Yeah. It's twice the distance from the middle to the end. Take that, Joe. Trying to trick me. What inspired you to make videos on FB and YouTube? I don't know. Some friends of mine. A guy called Blake Phillips told me I should do it. And I was like, well, maybe I will. And then that little suggestion just festered with me for a while, and then I did it. So Blake Phillips did. Carly, what would make you fall in love and consider getting married with someone? Nothing. Nothing would. Unless they were super, really hot and super wealthy. No, probably not even then. Favourite band of the 90s? The Spice Girls. I had their merchandise. My mum bought it for me. I think she knew I was gay. Is Trish based off a real person? My father. 70% my father, 30% my mother. But no, not really. The mother skits come from my dad mostly because he just had no tolerance and would just scream at us for everything, and it was amazing. How did you get your job? The one that I have now. That's boring. Oh my God, I've been going for 40 minutes. I think I've pretty much lost everyone. Let's finish this and I'll pick this up for part 2. That's a great idea.